Hey ladies, it's Charlie O and Lola, and we're the Shady Ladies. We're a couple of love coaches that love to sit on the patio, drink champagne, and talk about sex and love and relationships with no shame. We're here to help you to keep it exciting. Today we wanted to talk about fantasies. So everyone has fantasies. Honestly, seriously, like you have them growing up, they pop in your head randomly. You don't sometimes even really have control over something popping in your head like that, but it's just something.
Michael Jordan.
Oh.
The Rock. Just kidding.
Yeah, Magnum PI.
Whatever our taste is.
Yep, exactly. So we all have fantasies. We can all relate, but what we want to do is kind of normalize them a little bit to some degree and make it a safe space to be able to talk about them because and not feel shamed or feel guilty for having them because you can't help it. They are psychologically they are completely normal. There is no reason to feel any guilt or shame around having fantasies.
I agree.
Yeah, now acting them out, that's honestly a whole nother topic, but just having them in general, they are normal and they are natural. So we just want to put that out there. So women tend to have fantasies, thoughts. We have tendencies towards exhibitionism. So we tend to like to be seen, not really on stage, so to speak, but like on stage it could just be you and your partner for the night. You just like to feel like you are you're being seen.
You could do a striptease act.
Yeah, striptease
If
act.
you don't have a partner, you can basically do the My Hog Club and have sex at Find a Stranger.
Ooh, I like that.
I have a girlfriend that did that.
That's on my bucket list.
Okay, there you go. See?
I want to be part of the Mile High Club. Hey, did you know there's a t-shirt for that?
I do. I don't have it because I have not had that experience.
I saw a t-shirt recently of someone who had joined the Mile High Club. I have to say I was super jealous.
Well, Lola, it's time for your bucket list.
It
Check
is time.
it off.
It's
Check
time
it
to
off.
get that checked off.
And let me know with COVID going on how that's going to work because I'm sure they're monitoring the bathrooms too.
Well, I definitely wouldn't use a public commercial airliner. I would use more of a private.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah, I would have to go that route.
Gotcha.
And I thought, and this so super funny little tidbit is I thought it was going to happen many years ago. And, all of a sudden it was in my face and I thought I was going to be able to check that off my list, but it didn't happen. So it's still on the list, still needs to get checked off. And yeah, before I die, I want that to happen.
So what about just to start with, just to prepare yourself for it, what about just having sex outside?
Have
you done that? Or
I
you
have.
do that. I shouldn't say have you or do you do that? That could be like an everyday thing. I don't know.
Right?
We've never talked about
Yes.
that. And I don't want to
like
know
every
your whole...
time. Oh, that's all the time.
That's all the time. That's like a duh.
Well, no, but that is actually one of the top most common fantasies that people have. It fits kind of under the novelty category for, which is the number 3 thing most common when polled for men and women is sex outside. I love it. Sex on the beach is. And I don't mean the drink. Although the drink is nice too.
You could have it with it or after. You could always have it after.
You might want it before, some little liquid courage, but.
Or after to reward yourself that it was the best thing ever.
That it happened.
I read, but lots of people like to be watched when they have sex. So there's different things, and but that means not even, you could be an exhibitioner, but you could also be, you just want to watch each other masturbate. You can bring in the vibrators and watch each other, enjoy each other, that type of thing too.
Yeah, that can be super sexy. So men tend to be a bit more voyeuristic than women do. Women kind of want to, be the show, be the star act, and then men tend to be more visual, and they want to watch it. So I do think that is way up there on the top 3 priority list.
What about going to like a strip club together, or
that's super sexy.
Okay. Is that okay? So there you go.
I like that. Like that idea.
What about body chocolate?
Oh, yes, that's fun. It can be a little messy, but well worth it.
You just know that your sheets are going to be thrown away.
Yeah.
Yes. So just put old sheets on. Is that what you're saying?
But what if they're not your sheets?
That is true. That could happen too. What about the dress? I heard that. Now, what about dress up though?
Yeah, I think.
I think people like to pretend sometimes they're not. They can let themselves go if they're not the same people. It's like, some people love Halloween and love to dress up.
They love it. Like, some people just really get into it.
That's their favorite holiday. They'll spend whatever that looks like, because then they become something that they're not for that 12 hours or 24 hours.
Whatever that is.
That's awesome. So what would you dress up if you were going to be somebody?
I've commonly been a witch, even though it's a love-hate relationship because I'm really not a witch. But kind of the cat action sounds kind of fun. What about like Wonder Woman, Catwoman?
I'm thinking this year I would like to be Cruella de Vil. Have you watched the new movie?
I have not seen the new movie.
I want to be on top of the car with the sexy fur and with my cigarette that I don't smoke.
The long cigarette that you don't even smoke.
Gray blonde. Oh, and be like that lady with high heels on, and then someone would have to tell me get down because then that would be not pretty. I always
don't sprain an ankle.
My favorite ever I dress up as a woman police officer because I don't make it boring. It's called sexy,
Yeah.
I have a gun and everything.
Got some handcuffs.
And a taser and handcuffs.
Taser. Oh shit.
And taser and
this is for real.
And handcuffs too. So I control my people if I want to.
Handcuffs can be really, really fun. So we tried these funny, fuzzy little handcuffs and one time, and they're super clunky. They were awkward.
Oh yeah.
It didn't work my vision didn't work as well, but maybe I needed more time.
Ordered some, remember, from what was so I have bracelets that are handcuffs, but I also have real handcuffs. My bracelet handcuffs are sexy, lovely. I love the website. Yeah. We will put that on the link. They look like a bracelet, but secretly they are a handcuff.
Yes,
they are sold as a handcuff.
They are very classy, beautifully sophisticated handcuffs that they're like jewelry, and no one knows what they are.
And it empowers you to be a woman. Yes. I love them. And then there's also the handcuffs I bought from True Romance that are handcuffs, but again, they can be used. They're a little bit thicker.
Okay.
So, but like on a fun night, if you were going to be a cop, like a police officer, a woman police officer, it could totally rock it. Or if you just wanted to go out and be kind of a little bit sexier, but not be over the top, nobody would know. So again, those will be on our link too, so you can be able to order those. But it's just adding it a little more exciting and being a little more fun.
Well, definitely. And, and everyone polled the number 3 thing that were on people's fantasy list were the novelty items, those sort of things, like bringing those things into your experience to make it a little bit more fun, a little bit more racy, edgy, and along with the novelty topic was the oral and anal play. So that's a whole nother show in and of itself, but those things fit under the novelty topic. Like, what about sex at work?
Right.
Fantasizing about sex at work.
Yeah.
That's kind of common.
On the desk, you mean? In your own office?
Maybe on the copier.
I don't know.
I don't know. I can't. I can't. That one doesn't really go in my head.
But let's say people picture that.
In an elevator.
Been there, done that.
That's kind of sexy.
Been there, done that.
That's pretty sexy. In a pool or a hot tub.
Been there, done that.
That's super hot.
Yeah.
That's hot. And I love this one too. In the woods.
Oh, well, yeah. That's like
I mean, that just brings out like that animal magnetism, right?
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
You're camping, like, it's quiet, you've got the nature sounds going on. That's kind of primal. I love that one.
I have seen some things and talked to a few people that do painting charades. So sexy in the bedroom is like I said, it's just like kind of you're probably much going to throw away that the next day, but your sheets the next day. But you can paint what you're thinking on the person's body, on your own body, and then they have to guess it. That to me seems sexy. So that's on my to-do list because I thought that's something I've never thought about.
Yeah,
so that's
me neither.
Right?
Wow. That's wow.
And so we can. What I was thinking, Lila, if you're thinking the same thing, is I was going to pull together like 30 things of the top most sexiest fantasies, and maybe create kind of like how we have our list for yes, no, maybe, and have that available. Just because I get it, sometimes you're busy and you need ideas. So then all you have to do is click on it. It's like, gosh, we're bored tonight, or gosh, we got to spice up our sex tonight. So we could have those available, and then we could always add to. And we'd love your feedback. So if you have anything, you can say add this to the list. So the list could keep growing. So it could be like 200. Then,
and working from a list can help take off some of the pressure to like, oh, I've got to come up with some amazing idea and perform it.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a lot of pressure.
Exactly. I just know like a long time ago, like with my husband and our sex life was boring, and I felt like I was the only one thinking of things to do. But then it's kind of like you can just say, hey, this is what we're going to do this tonight.
Look, we drew this card out of the jar or whatever.
I totally think that's amazing. Or have a calendar. And it doesn't mean that every night you have to get painted. No. But you could have my thought was have like a 30-day relationship calendar, and we could create that for them. Yeah. And then that way you could pick which night you want to get painted, or you want chocolate on you, or you just want to talk about it, or you want to go to your yes, no, maybe list. So we will be coming up with that in the next month. And then that way you have that available too. So that gives you just one other option where you don't have to try to think out of the box. You can just, why recreate the wheel when we have ideas for everybody?
Yeah, no, I think it's really important to keep it exciting.
Or it's your first date and you need something for your first date, or you're single and you want to know what you should do when you're single to add excitement to your life. It doesn't mean you have to be in a relationship, but you can create your own fun calendar, and we'll just give you options for wherever you're at in your relationship.
Yeah,
so,
I like it.
Yeah.
I love that idea. Some very common things that we tend to think that just men think about and not women, because I really want to keep a safe space for women to really be open, have this dialogue, feel like they're safe to say, oh my gosh, I've really thought about that. So this is the most, the largest group polled of a group of people. It was a study that was done. It said 87% of women and 95% of men, which I'm not surprised it's higher for men, were interested in multiple partners.
Yes.
So that actually is the number one fantasy for both men and women. So that's interesting. That's something to explore, talk about with your partner. It doesn't mean you have to do it just because it's a fantasy. Absolutely.
I agree.
You don't have to do it. But it is something to talk about. It is something to think about. And then the number 2 thing on the list for the people that were polled was bondage. So I tend to not think a whole lot about that too much. But my partner, we've kind of talked about that a little bit and done some fun little light things, and it's fun. So there's no surprise that 50 Shades of Grey is the most popular of all time.
Yes.
Book out there.
Isn't that why we are having that as our book club of the month next month?
Yeah, yes. I love it. That is a very fun book. It's it gets you breathing hard.
Right?
And really fun thought
not
ideas.
For the wary.
Yeah.
Not for the wary.
And it doesn't even mean you have to do it, but it's really fun just to sort of imagine, let yourself go there in your head, and decide with your partner what you're willing to do and what you don't want to do. can just be really basic things like being tied up. And, we had our friend Asia say before, sending your partner a picture of their belt and saying at work and saying, oh yeah, we are going to
Asia,
use this.
Well, she'll be back with us next month sometime, we hope. Or sometime soon.
Yes.
Sometime soon, not next month. Sometime.
We're hoping. She's a lot of fun.
She's a sometime sooner.
She keeps it exciting.
Yes, she does.
So, should you tell your partner your fantasies, do you think?
I am one of those people that if you don't tell them, they're going to always be a fantasy. But if you're with somebody and you're not living any of them, they're not really they go away, they die.
Yeah.
And that's saddening to me. So
Yeah.
I would say yes. It doesn't mean that you have to agree on everything. It's just like the yes, no, maybe list. But if you're not sharing it openly, it's kind of like it's like it's a Christmas present you wish for, and Santa never brought it.
Yeah.
So or he might have been.
It's true. Although, I may not ever be with Magnum PI on the beach.
And I'll tell, Michael Jordan, I'm still waiting for him and The Rock. But still.
But yeah, I think it is okay to share
things that are like, that are something that you feel that could be help your sex life, help your relationship, help you, your self-esteem, help yourself personally, whatever that looks like. Because it could be that I just want to have a day where I'm just going to masturbate by myself.
Yeah,
like people,
absolutely.
And no judging. Like right?
100%.
There's no judging. It's that those are the things that you have to kind of make, again, like your calendar of what's important to me as far as, to better whatever that relationship looks like. So
absolutely. So, if you're going to talk to your partner about their fantasies, I think timing is everything, and maybe don't just unload that on them when they're headed out to a business meeting.
Oh no. or if you're headed off to Vegas with your buddies and you say, hey, I want to talk about my sex fantasies. No, that's probably not the best place.
But yeah, you could have an intimate night and be like, oh, hey, sweetheart, this has been on my list. What do you think? And you should always approach it with no judgment, because they may or may not agree. So yeah.
Oh, and also too, it's like if you're busy, you both have your own careers, your life, kids, whatever that looks like, or you're both single and you're trying to make a relationship. It's okay to have people always go, oh, you can't have sex on a calendar. Yes, you can.
Yes.
Because that's one thing that's huge important. Because, gosh, if you knew on Monday morning when you woke up that night you're going to have naked patio, or, oh, gosh, we're going to be talking about our most intimate, fantasies, that is something that you would get through work really quickly and be looking forward to it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. It would just keep you kind of giggling throughout the day with a little happy smile. And yeah, it's so important. The whole thing about calendar time and sexy time is about prioritizing your sexual well-being. That's what it is.
Well, and if you don't have that, and then you just spring it on, and that, oh gosh, I just decided I want you to dress up as a nurse every Thursday night. That's really not going to go over very well, or whatever that looks like. But or you have to turn into Michael Jordan, and that really doesn't happen either. So
sometimes you can only do so much.
You can only be with one person.
So we talked about this before, but we have had a friend who was surprised by a fantasy of their partner. It was huge and it was over the top, and I doubt she'll ever do it with the gangbanging thing, and I'm sure she'll never do it, but that's just their fantasy. But the thing is I love that they shared that intimate moment where he could share what he was thinking. Doesn't mean she has to agree to it, so safe boundaries are super important, but it's okay that he can share it. But then, some fantasies don't have to be acted out. So I think that's
why they're that's why they're called fantasies. And and everybody, it's just things that sometimes people aren't comfortable with. They don't want to share it, and that's okay too, as long as they don't pursue it in the wrong way.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So I think just kind of to wrap today up, we can talk about our yes, no, maybe list, because maybe you want to use our list just kind of as a barometer, or you want to add some things to it to be able to talk to your partner about what you're okay with and what you're not okay with, and maybe what you might be willing to explore in certain occasions.
And then coming up soon will be on our website too, will be the calendar, your sex calendar.
Ooh, I like
and like that way it'll be a work in progress, but it will be available in the next month or so. And then that way you guys can print it off and you can add to it. And then we would love if it's not like on that calendar or let us know, because we can definitely add it, because we don't know what we don't know. Absolutely. And the more we know, the smarter we are.
Absolutely. So yeah, thanks for
another evening or another fun patio talk on
absolutely fantasies,
sex and fantasies, and
keep it exciting.
Keep it exciting.